What's up guys, we're back with a brand new video, and today we're back with another AFL redraft. This time we're doing the 2010 AFL Draft. Now this draft was not too highly, too many superstars inside the draft. It was more above average players, and more like, when I was looking at the draft, it was such a deep draft. Like, there was a lot of role players, or average players that, will be in your best 22, but there's no real lethal stars. There's a few, but not too many. And before we get into this video, make sure to like this video. Let's try to get this video to 30 likes, and we're currently 3 subscribers away from 300 subscribers as I'm recording this video. So let's hit 300. That'll be absolutely amazing. We hit 300, and join the Talking Footy community, because we're building something here, which is so great to see. So without further ado, let's get straight into the redraft. At number 10, I've gone with Brodie Smith. Now, he was originally picked 14 and he was drafted to Adelaide, and since then he's been one of the most dangerous rebounding halfbacks, always just so highly in the meters gained category. He's only been All-Australian once in his career, and that was in the 2014 season, but I believe his best year was the 2017 season. But sadly, at the back half of 2017, when Adelaide were trying to make their premiership push, he did end up getting injured and I think tearing his ACL, which was so sad to see, because he was pretty much such an important part to how Adelaide actually played football that year, and to see him go down with an injury was so sad. Because even in the 2020 season, Rory Laird and Brodie Smith, even though Rory Laird moved into the midfield a bit more, they're so dangerous off half-back and a big part of how Adelaide plays football. At number 9, I've gone for Cam Guthrie. Now, this man was originally drafted pick 23 to the Cats, and he started off pretty much most of his career being a dangerous half-back and never really being a star player in this Geelong team, because everyone knows how stacked this Geelong team has been since 2010. So he's been an important player for him off the half-back line, but in the 2020 season he got moved to the midfield in the Guts for the first time in his career, and he had his best career year, arguably being their most important inside mid that season, being an All-Australian inside mid, which for me it was such a surprise, and for many people no one really picked Cam Guthrie to be an All-Australian, especially how stacked that Geelong side was in 2020 and currently still will be in the 2021 season. So that's why I've gone with Cam Guthrie at pick 9. At number 8, I've gone with Isaac Smith. Now, he was originally pick 19 in the 2010 draft, and since then has been a crucial role player to how Hawthorn play football. Of course, everyone knows how good he was in that period when they were in the three-peat. Him and Brad Hill running down the wings were the most crucial part of that team, and a big reason why they end up being a three-peat. The only reason I don't have him higher, because everyone knows that Isaac Smith's a great player, I don't have him higher because I feel like there's the players above him are more important players, I would have to say, because Isaac Smith is more of a role player, even though he's a very, very good player and probably one of the best role players, but he's doing stuff for his team. He's not like a standout star, so that's why I've put him at number 8. He's still an absolute gun player, and you guys probably disagree with me. That's fine, but I just have him at number 8. At number 7, I've gone with Dyson Heppell. Now, this man was originally pick 8 in the 2010 draft, and since then he's been a very, very reliable midfielder for Essendon. Probably this decade or this period of time, he's probably been their best midfielder. He's been a BNF winner once, but been a runner-up a number of times. And also, he was an All-Australian in that 2014 season, and he was this draft class's Rising Star winner in 2011, which is when you have a Rising Star winner, you expect him to be the best going through, but I feel like it's not his fault that he's gone a little bit backwards. Well, not really backwards, it's not really his fault, it's that he's been really injury-plagued for the past couple of years, since he became captain in 2017, which is really sad to see, because this man has a lot of potential. He's a big midfielder. He's like 190 centimeters, which is very, very good for a modern day midfielder. Yeah, so he's just been injury plagued, but I expect him to have a bounce back season in the 2021 season. At number 6, I've gone with Jack Darling. Now, he was originally picked 26 in this draft, and for some reason every time I name this bloke on the channel, People to say this man's trash, but he's been a very, very good player through his career. He was an All-Australian in the 2019 season. He's a two-time leading goal kicker, or actually a three-time leading goal kicker for the West Coast Eagles, and he's been in a team with Josh Kennedy. So just think, I feel like this man not will break out, but he'll have such a good season, possibly in the 2021 season or in the 2022 season, where everyone expects Josh Kennedy retire, because this man's been a second field key forward his whole career and has managed to pick up 3 leading goal kickers for West Coast and an All-Australian. So that just shows how impactful this man was. I reckon we'll see a big jump from Jack Darling in the next couple of years when Josh Kennedy ends his career and retires, because once this man becomes the number 1, I expect this man to be an absolute breakout player for West Coast. And number 5, I've gone with Dion Prestia. Now, he was originally drafted pick 9 to the Gold Coast Suns, but at the end of 2016, he got traded to Richmond, and at the time it was seen as a bad move by Richmond, because everyone thought that Richmond were heading for a rebuild stage, but ended up being one of the most important players in 2017, allowing Dusty to push forward and him taking pretty much like the big midfield role. Arguably, I reckon their best midfielder, like full-on midfielder apart from Dusty, since they've become a good team in their premiership years, even showing when he was the best and fairest winner in that 2019 season when they were the premiers. And he's never been All-Australian, he's only got nominated once, but I feel like he's in such a stacked team that his impact is kind of joined in with everyone else. But he's such a star, and everyone knows the human meatball is so dangerous. He's been since when he was in Gold Coast, he was a multiple runner-up for the best and fairest. You're probably thinking, Gold Coast, how do you never win one? Well, he kind of had the breakout season when he hit Richmond in 2017, and I expect this man to be so impactful for a possible three-peat in 2021 for Richmond. And number 4, I've got Jeremy Howe. He was originally picked 33 to Melbourne in 2010. And he was actually drafted as a key forward, and that's probably why I can tell he's so athletic and he can jump so high and he's so good at marking, because he was just a natural key forward. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, but for Melbourne, he was a leading goal kicker in 2013. A leading goal kicker, Jeremy Howe. People that start watching footy recently would not think this. And I was surprised when I saw this, that Jeremy Howe's never been an All-Australian. He's been nominated a couple times, but never actually been an All-Australian. I personally reckon that this man's probably one of the best halfbacks in the league. I reckon he would have been easily a halfback All-Australian this year. He was having his best career year until he sadly went down with a knee injury, I think 5 or 6 rounds into the season, which was actually so sad, because I feel like that's kind of when the downfall of Collingwood happened, when this man went out. He's just so impactful. Don't know how he's never been All-Australian. I reckon he certainly will be in contention in 2021, and he should have been one in the 2020 season if he did stay healthy. Now, he has won Mark of the Year, as everyone knows. He probably should have won it multiple times, because this man almost, I'm not going to say invented the specky, but pretty much almost put it back into fashion, that how good this man is. I reckon he's probably the best speckier in the AFL right now. No one really comes near him. So yeah, that's why I've got Jeremy Howe at number 4, even though he doesn't have the accolades of some other blokes on this list. He's still so impactful. And number 3, I've gone with Andrew Gaff. Now, this man was originally picked 4 in the 2010 draft, and since then he's been a BNF winner for West Coast. He's been a 2-time All-Australian, and was in contention for the 2019 Brownlow before that incident that everyone knows about, or the Andrew Brayshaw incident. And I personally reckon that he would have won the Brownlow if he didn't do that in 2019. He was just so great that year. Actually, it was 2018. I'm talking about the wrong year. Sorry about that. So he's been one of the best wingers in the AFL during his career, and definitely was worth the pick 4 that West Coast ended up taking him as. And he's just such a great player. And number 2, I've got Luke Parker. Now, this man was originally drafted at pick 40. And since then, he's been an absolute superstar midfielder. Was in the 2012 Premiership side for Sydney. He came second. He came runner-up in the Brownlow in 2016 when Sydney were the best team in the AFL, but sadly came runner-up to the flag that year. He's been a one-time BNF winner for the Sydney Swans, and he's been one of the best midfielders for the Sydney Swans over probably this period of time. And number 1, I've gone with Tom Lynch. Now, he was originally pick 11 in this draft, and since then he's been one of the best, most damaging key forwards in the competition, managing to kick 70 plus goals for the Gold Coast Suns in a season. A team that was like bottom 4 manages to kick 70 goals, and ever since he came to Richmond he has been hated so much, mainly because people call him a snake for joining a premiership side. But since then he's been impactful, and I'll have to say if he was never in the side, that Richmond wouldn't have these 2 premierships, because everyone, like in 2017 they did it with just Jack Riewoldt, but in 2018 they couldn't do it with just Jack Riewoldt. So through his career he's been a 1-time All-Australian, has won 2 premierships, has won 2 BNFs, has been a 4-time leading goal kicker for the Gold Coast Suns, a 1-time leading goal kicker in 2019, and an equal leading goal kicker in the 2020 season with Jack Riewoldt. Was a co-captain between 2014 and 2018, and it's been an all-around absolute champion AFL player. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. I love making these AFL redrafts, and I'll continue doing your AFL redrafts if you comment down below. So I'll be doing the 2009 one coming out in the next few days, and please subscribe because we are so close to 300 subscribers, and by the time this video comes out we might have actually hit 300 subscribers, so thank you anyway.